Hello everyone and welcome to the OpenTalks episode number 4. And in this episode we are going to talk about mini LED, which is, I guess, me and Abhiram Shibu, both of us think that it will be the revolutionary technology, and maybe in 4-5 years every flagship phones will have it. Other than that, AMD absolutely crushed Intel. So let's see what they've done. Otherwise, Google is pushing Fuschia OS slowly. Is it good? Is it bad? We don't know. Let's figure out. AirTags got hacked. That is a major hit. Windows got WinGET. I mean, yeah, it was needed, right? When you can install it from store. So it's the way. Correct? Let's see. And finally, our good old Pacman got the version 6.0, and with it gets very good features. Let's see what those are. Right? So starting from mini LED. Yeah, bro. So let's continue.
Right. So I think, like whenever people think about mini LED, I mean, they might think mini LEDs like LEDs, basically LED screen, and mini LEDs are placed on screen. It is not like that. It's just a iteration in the backlight technology. Like normally we have the local dimming, and with that actually we have zones, right? And the thing is, we can just turn off those zones, right? If the zone is like
Right.
blackish, you can say. Uh, to give the contrast ratio, we just turn off a particular section in the screen so that it looks much more darker. But
Yeah.
the main problem is the bleed and stuff like that, which happens across the zones, and all those stuff is way eliminated with
Right.
mini LED. So with mini LED, what is actually happening is there are too many zones. Like not just having like 10 or 20 zones, you have thousands of zones. And now with these thousands of zones, you can precisely dim each region to match an OLED display.
Right.
And I think Linus from Linus Tech Tips already have reviewed
Yeah.
Samsung users.
That's a really good video. You should all go and check it
And
out.
he has compared with LG OLED, if I am
Oh
correct.
yeah, and I mean they were looking really close.
Absolutely close. In the
Yeah.
sense, like he even turned off the lights and he
And
was like literally, I mean,
then also, yeah. And
and
blooming was there, but it was not noticeable from the viewing distance. You would have to go very near and then check. So
absolutely.
yeah,
The thing is, it is like pixel peeping at that point, right? I mean,
correct.
like we are basically looking at them at the screen very closely, right? I mean,
Yeah. So
I mean, like just having that particular display is pretty good. Like
right, right,
having
right.
the LCD, and now we are having the backlight dimmable with
Yeah,
micro dimming, right? In particular zones, which is the zones
exactly.
are really small. I think this will be it. Like the thing is, OLED is really expensive, and it also the display itself is not that durable in the
Mhm.
sense. After some time, it just dies, right? The
Yeah,
display dies, it fades away. The color accuracy gets less.
correct.
But with LEDs, the color accuracy stays bang on, right?
Yeah, and also like the manufacturing process of OLED is very, I mean, tedious, I would say. So compared to that, I guess micro LED would be a little bit better in terms of manufacturing process.
Now I think micro LED is mini, no, not micro LED, mini LED
Mini
is
LED, yeah,
kind of expensive right now.
yeah,
But
as a
I think with the time, it will become much more cheaper than even the OLEDs.
yeah. I think it will replace LCD in maybe 5-10 years, because generally OEMs will try to gain their R&D price, and then they will like release for like normal monitors and those things. So slowly
So
LCD will fade
just
out.
just saying, like here we are at Open Talks, we talk technical, right? So
Yeah,
in the sense, we are not really saying about they will replace LCDs, right? I mean, this itself is an LCD, right? We are saying
exactly.
like the traditional LCD form
Traditional.
factor of having the
Hmm.
normal
Yeah,
large zones.
Right. Like,
So the thing
yeah,
is,
this.
when you think about display technology, right? It
Mm-hmm.
just it is way fascinating. Like
Right.
the thing is, LCD has evolved a lot, and people didn't even know about it, right? I mean,
Yeah. Right.
like the first it was like a normal LCD panel where you had those shitty viewing angles, right? Like
Correct.
if you go from one 90 degree to like 180 degrees, it's like blank, right? I mean,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
absolutely blank. So I think with this the innovations,
Mm.
then the twisted pneumatics came. Like with the twisted pneumatics, they were like IPS displays, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, IPS displays and TN displays, if I'm correct.
Correct.
And the TN displays and like not TN, like VA displays, right? VA displays.
Okay.
VA displays and I guess IPS are both popular. I mean,
Yeah.
in the case of TN display,
Mm.
like VA displays, it is more popular with gamers because it
Okay.
has more refresh rate,
I see.
but poor viewing angles and
Yeah.
poor color accuracy.
Color
While
accuracy.
IPS
Yeah.
displays looks like stunning, it like the viewing angles is like next level,
Mm.
and the IPS display itself is taken to the TV, right? And
I
the
see.
dimming zones are put in the back. So
Okay.
same technology with the IPS display is used in mini OLED, like
Okay.
mini LED, right? Mini LED. So
Okay.
what we have is we have the IPS display in front, and we
Mm-hmm.
have the diffuser layer, and behind the diffuser layer there are local dimming zones, and
Yeah.
these local dimming zones are controlled by uh, mini LEDs.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
I think if you want any demonstration, you can go to Linus Tech Tips and just search for mini LED video, I guess.
Right.
Uh,
Right away.
and he will actually explain to you how it works and even
Correct.
show you the result of
Correct.
uh, current.
And yeah, and like I mean, I have I have seen this local dimming zones in Samsung TVs way back, uh, from like since like that TV was 10 years old, right? So
Research.
Samsung is like working on this from maybe more than 10 years. And
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, at the see, I have my experience was like, whenever the dark scene comes up, the whole, I mean, the luminance of the whole display goes down. That's how it was implemented initially 10 years back, but now it is like very much complex and very much better.
Absolutely. The thing is, I do prefer not having any dimming if
Okay.
the display is not really,
Hmm.
perfectly zoned, right? I mean, just
Yeah.
have edge lighting. It's okay in the
Correct.
sense.
Correct. Correct.
But a poor local dimming will actually cause bad picture quality in the sense like
Hmm.
some regions might look really brighter than it should be, and
I see.
some might look literally washed out where there should be some light.
Right.
So those things kind of makes me feel like if you're having a display, then either go for good local dimming or just go for nothing, like
Absolutely.
no local dimming at all.
Yeah.
Um, and
And
I think for bigger TVs only the local dimming comes, right? Like 43 inches and all those things are
yeah.
normally edge light.
Right. And why, like, second thing is like, I told that every manufacturer slowly will adapt this technology and put this thing into their flagship phones, right? Why I said that, because like you all know Apple, right? Apple
Yes.
implemented that in their latest
Right,
iPad.
right.
Apple removes headphone jack. People do remove, like Samsung, all the companies did remove, right?
Yeah.
They removed charging brick. Everyone did. So if they're doing something good,
Yes, it
other
is not. It is just a publicity system, right? The
I
headphone
see,
jack.
I see.
Like it is not like it is not implementable because a guy from China did implement it, right? I mean,
Correct. Yeah.
and the thing is, it is sealable, right? I mean, if you look at Galaxy S5,
Mm-hmm.
it is completely like the battery is removable as well as the headphone jack, and it is IP67 water resistant, I
Yeah.
think.
Right.
So it is like it is just deliberately they are doing
Yeah.
this.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is like industry is blindly following Apple, right? So if Apple are
Absolutely.
putting mini LED in their displays, industry will kind of try to at least try it once or twice, and most probably people will like it, because who doesn't want OLED quality picture with LCD? So I mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
it will work out for sure.
I mean, the only thing which is preventing it now is basically the manufacturing cost,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
now higher than OLED,
Hmm.
which needs to
As
be
of
done.
now, yeah, that needs to be taken care by Samsung somehow, right?
Most probably it will be like,
Yeah, it will be. Yeah,
Samsung is based. Right? I mean,
yeah, of course. Like
I think the future is not OLED, rather
the future is mini LED.
LCD,
Yeah,
mini LEDs. Yes.
absolutely. Correct. Yeah.
I
So.
once even like thought as kid, right? I mean, maybe we will have small LEDs
Hmm, hmm,
as
hmm, hmm, hmm.
display fragments. I
Correct.
mean, like nowadays we have OLED, which is exactly the same, right? MSC display,
Yeah.
and it is basically small LEDs underneath. But
Right.
what if we miniaturize LED to a point where like we can just put
Yeah.
little LEDs
Yeah. Right.
instead of having a backlight or anything? But I think
Correct.
there is a distant future because the thing is, even mini LED, there was a lot of research put into
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Of course. Right.
to
Yeah.
get that to that particular scale.
Absolutely.
Yes. If there is nothing else, we can go to the
Yeah. I
next one.
guess we can move to this next topic. I mean, next topic is like we saw that coming somehow. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So like these desktop APUs, right? They've again like crushed Intel somehow.
Yeah,
So
like the thing is, uh, main problem with AMD is that they just put the APUs at low end, right?
I see. I
Like
see.
fight like three double zero G and those kind of
Mm-hmm.
things, if you remember.
Correct.
Like 3200G, like all those things are with the GPU, right? Integrated graphics.
Yep.
But kind of it is really underpowered, right? I mean, the processor
Mm-hmm.
is not that good, like in the sense like just four cores. Even the ones uh, which don't even have hyper-threading. Like I mean,
Right.
seriously, like that is underpowered.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Of course.
and now we have another problem, that is GPU shortage, right? I mean,
Yeah.
CPU and GPU are both at shortage, but the thing is, GPU is much more worstly affected by the
Correct.
shortage.
Correct. Correct.
So the thing is, if you have an integrated GPU, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can just get the output of the
Okay.
display, right?
Right.
And most of the motherboard manufacturers already have a display port, like an HDMI or like a
I see.
DVI or even a display port, like directly on the motherboard, right? And
Yeah.
this is useless only because that there is no Vega GPU inside the normal, like the high-end GPUs, like
Okay.
not high-end GPUs, high-end CPUs, right? High-end
Mm-hmm.
processors. So AMD has fixed that, and now high-end processors like 5600X, there's a counterpart called 5600G, which
Okay.
actually performs
Okay.
lesser, I guess,
Okay.
which actually performs lesser than 5600X, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for sure, but still it meets the goal that anyone can buy this and have no GPU in the system, right?
I see.
And for me personally, having multiple GPUs always works because the thing is, if you can enable both GPUs, you can kind of encode videos and do some stuff in the other GPU while your main GPU is kind of rendering your video and doing some other heavy lifting stuff, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right. That is correct.
um, so and also some of the GPUs don't support all the video formats, right?
Yeah.
So integrated GPU might actually support more than you already have
Correct.
the dedicated ones. So in theory, integrated GPU being enabled, even
Mm.
having another GPU in your system, is
Mm-hmm.
always a gain. Right?
Yeah.
Is always a good thing.
Right.
And I think this also gives us an opportunity to not even have any card in our system to debug stuff. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Right.
graphics card issues are really hard to debug, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
They are literally
have another PC to plug that graphics card in to really confirm it. So
correct.
if you don't have a PC, then just take out the card, just check if the integrated GPU works fine, then put in the card. And if the card doesn't work that good, then you can
Yeah.
it really close to something. So
Right.
I think AMD is going in the right direction.
Yeah.
They even like went ahead and made some power efficient chips, right? I mean
Yeah.
for laptops.
Their every
Uh,
move is planned, and I mean, uh, they're very clever about this.
this also is not going to stop anytime
Yeah.
soon, right?
This time they are not going to let go Team
She
Blue.
literally has that. You can say like the machine gun, right, packed
Yeah.
with all the bullets, and she's keeping on firing.
Correct.
She is not stopping, even if the opponent is literally like
Yeah.
dead. Like
Yeah.
the heartbeat is no longer, right? I mean, it's like
Absolutely.
nearly dead. She's still keeping on firing. I
Right.
mean, now they are going with
Hmm.
Samsung integration, right?
Okay. Hmm.
AMD is now integrating with Samsung to create those chips
Oh man.
with ultra fast GPUs, right? I mean,
Wow.
so that is also getting announced, and
I see.
I guess there is also um, I guess there's also another thing like I forgot about it,
Hmm.
which actually will actually kill like Intel
Oh man.
really
Okay.
badly. That yeah, like that is the chiplet design, right? They are
Yeah.
going to vertical stack
Okay. Okay.
instead of horizontal stacking thing, right?
I see.
So, in sense, what they're doing is they are putting the CPU die. Then on
Hmm.
top of the CPU die, they are going to put the GPU, like not the GPU, the cache memory. So
Hmm.
kind of like they are going to save space and also increase the connectivity, like,
I see. So instead of
and
going
the
in
failure
this way,
will be decreased.
yeah, they are going this way. Yeah, like
Yes,
from here to
absolutely.
here. Right.
That is absolutely amazing, and they are going to deliver it in this end of this year. That is what they are going. They are saying so.
Oh man, if they are going to do it this year, then oh, Team
Absolutely.
Blue is dead.
By the way, if
Nice.
you want to know more, just see this video from Line Detectives, which
Yeah.
is
Uh,
absolutely
this one.
amazing.
Yep. 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 Correct.
So
Okay.
I
I
think
guess
we
let's
can
go
go
to
to
the
next,
next
right?
topic. So the next topic is about Fuschia OS. So we all were hearing about Fuschia from 2 years back, right? Around. And
Maybe like 3 years or 4 years. Maybe like
yeah, right, correct. So I mean, we all were kind of aware that it is going to come, but it was not coming at all, and it was in development from a long time. Now Google is putting their Fuchsia OS in Google Home, like those touch screen, uh,
home devices.
tablet like home devices. The front end will look exactly same as it was looking in Android, but now the backend is Fuchsia. So yeah, I mean, Abram, how do you see the future of Fuchsia now?
The thing is, it is like Android, continuation of Android. It seems like
Okay,
the Fuchsia is like the back end redesigned, but still it is using APKs and all those things, right? I mean, it's
I
all
see.
installable and
Okay.
stuff like that. It also feels like a reincarnation of Android because Google
Hmm.
felt something went wrong in you know, the version they have already, right?
Okay. Okay.
So they basically thought, okay, let's fix it
Yeah.
by making a new one,
Correct.
but not rewriting the whole thing, rather adopting what we did correctly and let's do it, right?
Yeah.
So,
And it is open source, right? So yeah,
yeah,
people
like that is good. I mean,
right.
for me, right? I mean, I think both will exist parallelly, like
Mm-hmm.
Android and Fuchsia OS. And the thing is, people will actually try to choose both, right? I mean,
Hmm.
people will start moving from Android to Fuchsia, but still there will be enthusiasts who still
Correct.
will use Android.
Yeah.
And for them, I think as Android is open source, people will actually start integrating features
Hmm.
from Fuchsia to
Correct.
Android.
Correct.
By
Here.
the way, I don't think that the Fuchsia OS, if you even use it,
Hmm.
it literally feels same as the normal uh,
Hmm.
Android, right? I
Okay.
mean, the UI itself is not that different from
Hmm.
what you
I
have
see.
on Android.
Yeah, because it is both are different designed by Google from scratch, right? So,
Absolutely, absolutely.
but Abram, like once you told me that Android is like based on Java and it runs JVM for each and every app, right? Separate
Yes,
JVM,
absolutely.
and that's why RAM usage is very high. So Fuchsia is, I guess, not based on Java, maybe. I'm not so sure, but still.
I mean, they might actually have some other plans in the sense like it might be like
Hmm.
Kotlin, right? I mean, Kotlin
Yeah.
only,
Okay. Yeah.
and maybe they might be changing the
Hmm.
like art, right? Art is like the JVM Kang of
I see.
Android, right? I mean,
I see.
uh, they might not be having art anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than art, they might be having native execution of the code itself.
Okay. Okay.
I think native execution is the way it should be, because
Yeah.
any
Absolutely.
other VM stuff, it actually takes a lot of CPU power. So,
Correct.
in the sense of if
Mm.
you have a phone, it should be having uh, way light OS, right? I mean,
Yeah.
lightest as possible. And Google, I think, have done the opposite in the
Mm.
past.
Right.
Like with iPhones and all, it is very efficient just because the OS is literally written in native language, and
I see. I see.
apps are written in native language, and the memory management is so amazing. And
Yeah, it is next level. Oh man. That's off.
so with that, I guess with 3 GB of RAM, you can just run an iPhone, like
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
funniest thing is like some of the bugs actually happen in iPhone just because they have less resources. Like
I see. Okay.
for example, there was an Instagram story if you remember, like which will crash iPhone, right?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you if you just open it.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
And what happened is like that particular
Hmm.
Instagram story, right? It
Yeah.
is it is basically like a web page, and the web page is too big to render.
Oh, I see. Right.
So what happens is the iPhone doesn't cut it. Like it doesn't have the RAM in, like enough RAM to render the whole thing.
Okay. I see.
But Androids already have like minimum of 4 GB of RAM at this
Android
case,
is
right?
so man. Yeah. They're bound
So
to
it is
have.
for
Right.
Android, it is a piece of cake.
Yeah. It is okay.
I
Like.
mean, think about it. Like
Yeah.
my phone and my like not my phone, my tablet and my laptop
Mm-hmm.
all have 8 GB of RAM, right?
Right.
And my friend has a OnePlus Node and he has 12 GB of RAM, and it's just
Oh
like,
man. Yeah.
I mean,
Like
yeah.
and
Now
now.
we are talking like the
Yeah.
phones have more memory than even PCs and like laptops.
Right. 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 Exactly.
We are at this point.
Yeah. That shows like that. That's a really good positive point about Fuchsia. But one negative point which I do see personally is like, as Google is trying to control Android, even though it was open, like now it is trying to, Google is trying to control everything in Android. Fuchsia, they are like developing from scratch, right? So I do think it will be very much locked. Like there will
Yes.
be routing and those things. But anyway,
The
like
main thing
Google,
is Android, right? I mean, Android in the
hmm,
sense it is locked, but it is still like
yeah,
not 100% locked.
exactly,
And some of the things are basically not lockable because of how the Android is designed from the startup. So in the
right,
sense, they can design Fuchsia in such a way that
yeah,
it can be literally locked.
yeah. I mean, they can plant a backdoor anyway, but we cannot. So yeah, but anyway,
Absolutely.
if you see the pattern, then they are training us like Android
To be
12,
locked.
like yeah, Android 12 will be almost locked. So they are kind of training us to shift from Android to Fuchsia, and it won't be very hard for us. Yeah,
And also, like their training has to be locked, right? I mean,
yeah,
by
correct, correct,
by
correct.
removing features
Exactly,
when unlocked and stuff like that.
exactly.
I mean, for me, phone is basically computer, right? I mean, we have
Right,
RAM, storage, we have
right,
processor, we have
right.
basically sensors, and we can actually do whatever we want with the phone if we code in it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Google is not allowing us to do that.
Correct. Absolutely.
So yeah, like I mean, for me, ideal phone will be something which is open, like
Hmm.
Linux phone.
Yeah, yeah. Or like I would say any phone with any OS which can let us do what we want, right? With the
Absolutely,
hardware.
give us low-level privileges like
Exactly.
assign IP addresses,
Exactly.
changing MAC address,
Yeah.
things like that, which doesn't like some of the things which might be useful for normal people is
Hmm.
is that we can even read the disk directly and
I
partition
see.
the disk,
I see.
which is not even possible in Android, right? Like think about you have a broken PC and you want to fix the PC, but you don't have any pen drive, like in the sense like you don't have any other PC to basically like write the OS to pen drive.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
So in theory, you can just use your phone because phone is fully capable. Like, it is a
Right.
it is a PC of its own, right? I mean, it is
Yeah.
a PC, and you can write it. But the thing is, the Google is basically saying you don't get the root access.
I see.
So as long as you don't get the root access, you can't
You cannot
access
do.
the disk directly, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, I mean, yeah, the future is the future, right? I mean, like, Google decides it is the future, it is the future. I mean, like,
Yeah. Absolutely correct.
these companies decide what society gets, right? So
Yeah.
there is no other way.
That's no. Yeah. Anyway, moving to the next topic. Apple AirTags. Oh man. So, like the thing which will be everywhere with you, even though in some places iPhone might not be there, but AirTag will be with you. That thing is hacked, and the hack is at the hardware level, if I'm not wrong. So I mean, you know, software level hack can be fixed by any software updates, but hardware level hack, I mean, that is impossible, right? To fix. So yeah, bro, like your take on it?
So the main thing is, even if they are trying to fix the thing, how the hell are they going to give an OTA, right? I mean, this thing doesn't have any
Yeah, even though
USB
it,
port,
right,
Wi-Fi, nothing, right? I mean, it just has Bluetooth and
correct,
NFC.
correct.
So Apple either has to come up with some
Hmm,
ingenious way to give out updates to the U1 chip.
I see.
Like the thing is, the firmware, right? I mean,
Yeah.
firmware is not like glitch proof. That is
Hmm,
jack proof.
right.
You can jack the firmware by basically changing the voltages,
Yep.
which goes to
Yep.
the CPU, right?
Correct.
So in theory,
Hmm.
they could be able to like literally
Yeah.
uh,
Absolutely.
make a kind of protection condition and stuff like that, right? I mean,
Correct.
but
Correct.
the thing is, they can't because all the air tags which have been sold is already sold and it's with people.
Hmm. Right.
How are they going to upgrade that?
Yeah. It is. I mean, in theory, they
It's
could. I
nearly.
mean, through Bluetooth, they could, but they. I mean, they might have thought about, but not
I
so
mean,
soon,
they
right?
have designed the U1 chip not to be upgradable with Bluetooth, right?
Oh,
So
then yeah,
it is kind of dead. I mean, it's a chicken and egg situation, right?
I see.
The thing is, they have already blocked the OTA via Bluetooth.
Hmm.
Then how can they even do the
Exactly.
OTA, right? I mean,
Exactly.
because now to basically write the firmware, you need the programmer,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
If you don't have the programmer, then you need to enable the OTA. But the
I see.
OTA is disabled, so you can't upgrade the firmware.
Oh,
So what can you do, right? I mean,
yeah.
now at this point, it feels like the thing is AirTags. Like if you are having AirTag, it is not like it
Hmm.
is not safe, right? I mean, this hack only allows you to upload custom firmware. So
I see.
in theory, if an
Hmm.
malicious entity wants, they can erase your AirTag
Okay.
and they can even reprogram the AirTag to do something else, right?
Right.
But it is very hard to read the AirTag in the sense like reading the
Okay.
configuration and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? For that, actually, we need to do the jiggling thing, and for that, we need hardware, right? I mean, hardware in the sense like we need more space to turn on and turn off the supply. We
Yeah.
need the total test setup, like attach the debugger, and
Right.
if the debugger is attached, then stop
Yeah.
the testing, right? I mean, that things are to be done. I mean, these
Correct.
all things require a lot of, I guess,
Yeah.
precision engineering, and I don't think
Absolutely.
most of the people don't even know how to do it, right?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So we are pretty much safe from anyone
Hmm.
kind of leaking the data from the AirTag. Rather,
Right.
it will be more useful to like upload a custom firmware, right?
Right. I mean,
And I think
yeah.
the possibilities are like you can design your own
Hmm.
ecosystem,
I see.
and ironically, you can use Apple AirTags to power your system, right?
Oh man. Right.
So that
Correct.
is, I guess,
It's not
only thing
that.
which is
Yeah.
possible.
It's not that Wi-Fi level hack we talked about in last podcast. That was like, totally wireless, doesn't need any physical access. In this, like, you need physical access, you need certain hardwares to hack them. Like, it is complex. It is almost, I mean, impossible for you to get hacked. I mean, it's not a thing to be worried about, but it shows like Apple can be hacked. They're not bulletproof, right? So yeah.
One thing I can say is that as we hacked into U1 chip,
Hmm.
we might be able to get any insights into the Mac,
I
SMC,
see.
and those kind of chips.
Right.
Um, so the thing is, Apple doesn't support right to repair, right? I mean, they are literally against it. So
Yeah.
what they do is they don't sell the chips
Correct.
to the repair persons.
Okay.
So what actually happens is that the chip actually has a firmware.
Okay.
If you try to read the firmware out of the
Hmm.
chip,
Hmm.
it basically kills itself. Like
I
the
see.
firmware basically self-destructs. So kind of like if you don't have the firmware, the chip
Hmm.
is useless. And
Okay.
if you can you buy the chip? Yes, you can. Like you can buy it from basically Texas Instruments or whichever manufacturer manufactures it. But
Correct.
is it useful? No, because it doesn't have the firmware.
I see.
So currently, so many MacBooks are basically dead
Because of
just
that.
because there is no SMC chip to
Yeah.
replace it with.
Right.
And the SMC chips they replace it with are the SMC chips which comes from dead boards.
Okay.
Those boards which got dead during manufacturing or someone sold their laptop after it's being dead and they basically disassembled and made it scrap, right? So from those SMC, if it works, they
Hmm.
just take it and run it, right? And the
Okay.
thing is, it is not just even if it works. Rather,
Hmm.
what happens is those people just buy a lot of boards, right? And they sell it like the
Okay.
wings of the board. Then
Mm-hmm.
there's a main body like that they buy, right? The board is cut
I see. Right.
into different parts,
Right.
and when they buy it, right,
Hmm.
they don't know if the chip works.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
What do you think is fingers crossed? Do the bowling, right? I mean,
Hmm.
these things are BGA. There is
Correct.
no not BGA, LGA, right? Yeah, LGA, land grid array. Yeah, land grid array. It is.
Okay.
So we have to bowl it, right?
Hmm.
Like yeah, it is ball grid array. Yeah, BGA. It is. So we have to bowl it, re-bowl
Hmm.
it. So to re-bowl it, we need a stencil and we need to put the solder paste. Then we have to apply heat, and then
Right.
after that we get the solder balls. Then we put back this this chip inside the MacBook
Hmm.
after cleaning everything. And
Hmm.
now after that, we try to turn it on, and if it doesn't turn on, then you will like basically question all the life decisions you have made and take another board and basically like do the same, right?
Yeah. Oh man. That
It
is
feels
sad,
like a
man.
lot of
Yeah.
work for just
Unnecessary work, right? I mean, right.
I mean, this might be one of the ways where they can extract the firmware, and after this, they can just buy, chips from
Hmm.
some manufacturer and basically flash it, right?
Absolutely.
So there is life. I mean,
Yeah.
there is life. Not really for, I guess, uh, security threat. This is not a security threat.
Right.
This is moreover a win for overall humanity, I guess, against Apple.
Absolutely correct. Okay. So I guess moving to the next topic,
Absolutely.
Windows got something, right? So which no one, I mean, everyone asked for it when we need it, but when everyone doesn't need it anymore, they get it. So we are talking about absolutely a package manager for Windows operating system, and the name is WinGET, right? So I mean, it was in development for 1 year. Now it is released, and yeah, I mean, you know, Linux had it from the start, right? From the maybe.
I mean, like, it doesn't even seem familiar, right? I mean, like, Linux has totally different names.
Yeah, 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 correct.
I mean, it doesn't even sound familiar to, like,
Doesn't
anyone
even,
using Debian distros, like,
yeah, doesn't sound similar to APT, right? Not at all.
not at all, yeah. Like, apt get installed, like,
Yeah,
I mean, even the commands, like, yeah,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Install.
it's
We
absolutely
are
a coincidence, like,
absolutely
they
cool,
didn't hang it at all.
right? And they are like putting that LGBTQ progress bar there
Oh, man.
for no reason.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is it. I mean, like think about like where the store fits now. Like
Yeah.
where is the store now? Like
Yeah.
I mean, now you use the store to download another store,
Exactly.
which is useless.
Seems like
I
Inception,
mean,
right?
the store itself is pretty much useless, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
itself.
on top of it, there's another useless store.
Correct.
I mean,
Absolutely correct.
saying that store is useless is a hard word, right? I
Yeah.
mean, store is useful, right? I mean, like in the sense, it is useful for
Yeah.
locking down games and stuff like that. I
Right.
mean,
Right. Right.
now the game piracy is down, but
Correct.
like for example, Forza Horizon and those kind of things are not that easily piratable. I mean,
Yeah.
but the thing is, it is still pirated, right? I mean, like
Exactly.
it's still a matter of time, right?
Anyway.
It is still pirated.
Right.
But the thing is, it is a one layer more security. But the thing is, why? Like, no one asked for it. You
Yeah.
just install a exe and I mean, yeah, exe or MSI package and you're done with, right? I mean, no
Correct.
one asked for store, no one asked for WinGET.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if someone even asks for it, they ask for it to be pre-installed, which it is not.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the point. Like, see, why Windows users are stuck with Windows is because they don't know there is something called as Linux, there is something called as package manager, and due to package manager we are saved from viruses. Like this knowledge they don't have, so you have to like pre-install this thing. Like any kid would know this thing. Like why Microsoft you cannot know that you have to pre-install such a necessary thing so that people can know and people can use that. I mean, yeah, obvious stuff, right? But
I mean, they even preload a store, right? I mean, store is a package manager.
they
GUI.
preload 5 years. So, so
I
that's
mean,
like
they need some GUI to show ads, right? I mean, how can
yeah,
they show ads in command line?
correct, absolutely correct. Yeah.
One thing correction I need to
Mhm.
say is like
Mhm.
Linux is secure until the upstream is not
I
compromised,
see.
right? I mean,
Yeah, right. That is correct.
like if someone basically compromises the keys, then yeah, it is game over,
Yeah.
right?
It was there. It was done for Fedora, but then before anyone outside discovered that, it was kind of recalled and those things. Like it was, you know, it kind of
The thing is,
compromise
Linux community is
content.
way active, right?
Yeah,
Like if something goes wrong,
yeah, absolutely.
everyone will know. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if a virus spreads in Windows,
Yeah,
like normal users will be like, oh yeah, like my computer doesn't work anymore, right? I mean,
yeah. Then they will search.
Greek users will be like, okay, this is not expected behavior. Let's see what is
Yeah,
really causing this thing, right?
correct.
And they literally find out the virus and they post, okay, like see this thing. This is a virus. Like this is a code, right? I
Right.
mean,
And major thing is like they remember, like they remember even 10 years back what happened with this. So like uh, they kind of do have the record of everything. Windows users, I don't think like even though they have lots of billions of users, and also like they face same kind of attacks each and every time. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, uh, yeah, like the thing is, you can be hacked anytime, right? I mean,
hmm,
for software security, it is all about do you trust this or not?
exactly,
It is your decision in the sense, like even if
absolutely,
you are doing apt install, maybe like stop,
hmm,
it is up to you to press Y or N, like
correct, absolutely correct.
to install or not, right?
Yeah,
Like the
there is,
thing is,
hmm,
upstream is corrupt, then you are compromised.
yeah, of
Even for
course,
Windows,
there you
if you
go.
download some sketchy app from some other site,
Hmm, hmm,
which
hmm,
is
hmm.
way more easier to do, right? I mean, compared to
Exactly. Upstream is like very much hard to. I mean, it is possible, but very much less probable thing. Right.
yes, absolutely. So yeah, like I'm just saying, like it is not the
Yeah.
intention of like it should not be the OS which locks it down.
Exactly.
It should be that you like
It should be
who
user.
chooses to not install viruses, right?
Exactly.
To think twice before even executing a code in your machine.
Absolutely. Like I mean, you yourself could be a virus if you do rm-rf then slash star,
I
right?
mean, absolutely. If you just accidentally delete the
Mm.
whole C drive,
Yeah, then you are the virus.
nowadays Windows prevents that. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
with trusted installer and those kind of things. I mean,
right. Now,
oh
even
man,
if you want to, then also you cannot. So yeah.
yeah. Nowadays you can't even select the principal. Like
Right.
old days, you can just change the owner, right? To
Yeah,
select a principal, change the owner, then you can delete it.
right.
Now, you like the administrator don't have administrative access.
I see. I see.
I mean, administrator is now
Yeah,
just an executive officer who sits
exactly.
in with the executive trust. That
Yeah,
is it.
yeah.
Has no executive privilege.
Absolutely
All
correct.
the executive privilege is done by the clerk,
Yeah.
which is Windows.
It is like onion, right? You peel up this layer, there is another layer of admin. You peel up this layer, there is another layer of admin. Just like that. So like there is no true admin access
It
in
feels
Windows
like politics,
nowadays.
right? Where
Yeah,
the leaders are basically the faces, but
yeah,
the actual decisions are taken by all the members inside it,
absolutely correct.
right? And it
Absolutely
feels like
correct.
leader takes all the decisions, but the
Yeah, right,
members take it.
right.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
think we can
And
move.
then like in contrary, we do have Pacman, right? Or old
Yeah,
age,
absolutely,
but absolutely useful and the greatest package manager of all time, Pacman.
absolutely,
So
100% agree.
6.0, the version 6.0 got released recently, right? It was like it. I mean, it was there from maybe 2 months, but recently it was released in test branch and now maybe in stable branch. Not so sure, but there are like very many useful features that they listen to us.
Okay, is it a stable branch? Just to be sure.
Let's check. Let's check. So second, I may have searched for it.
I mean,
Yeah,
you do already run
it
archives.
seems like in stable branch. What do you see, bro? Like this is 6.0.0, right? And yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's just stable. It seems.
yeah.
I
Seems like
mean,
stable.
see, groups is base level and
Hmm.
it is repository core. It is not
Right,
core testing, right? It is
right,
stable
right, right.
branch.
It is stable. So it is there for normal people now. And
So,
yeah, yeah,
have you
bro.
installed it? Like, just asking.
No,
Like,
I have not installed it because like I have not updated from maybe 2 3 weeks because of some stability issues in KD. So I have found some stability right now so that I don't want to disrupt it anyway. I'm going to update it as it is there in the stable uh, repo. And I mean like you have to go into config and then enable two three
absolutely,
things.
you have to
Yeah,
go to config and enable this is by default disabled, right?
yeah, and these new
Parallel
features.
download equal to 4. It is like commented out.
I see.
So you can uncomment that line and set it to whatever value you want.
Correct. So it will like parallelly download 4 packages and then yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Correct.
One thing I kind of
Hmm.
experienced is that while testing the thing, it kind of deleted the old config. But I don't know if that happens with the
I see.
mainline version, right? I mean, I did the testing version, so
Okay. Okay.
I
I
mean,
mean,
this is the main thing
hmm.
that is really good because I felt it stable, right? I mean, even if
Hmm.
it was alpha,
Yeah.
I didn't see it crash even one time. That is
Right.
the cool thing about Linux, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they have things in alpha which are like rock stable,
Yeah. Which are the real
just
alphas, right?
because they are not even sure. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
that's the
Right.
somehow.
They are waiting for, I mean, their beta testers or someone to test it out fully. But they have made it such. Their base is such strong that anyway you are not going to face any bugs, right? So and
Versus Windows, right, where insider builds looks pretty stable, and at last they release, it is
oh
all a
man,
heaven. It starts deleting user files, it starts
literally
encrypting
deleting
stuff,
stuff, boot loops, frame
exploding.
drops. I mean, endless, right? Endless issues. We all seen. So yeah, I mean that
I
shows.
mean, I was like thinking if you are running a nuclear reactor on Windows 10, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
and you just rebooted the system, right? I mean,
Correct.
you just reboot the system, you have around 5 minutes for
Yeah,
the things to get. booted up, and the core is now kind of not managed. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to get back all the management software backup.
Right,
And the
right.
Windows plainly shows Windows is upgrading.
Mm-hmm.
Please wait. Don't turn off your computer, right?
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, think about the situation, right? I mean,
Right.
think about that. Like,
Yeah.
core is going to melt like 5 minutes,
Correct.
and you're like Windows is like plainly updating. Like it just updates. Like
Uh,
similar situation also appears in college, right? When you
yeah.
go to college, you want the laptop to work.
Correct.
You just
Exactly.
turn it on, and Windows is updating. Like
Right.
bam, right? I mean, the worst possible time the Windows updates.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Correct. 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 Like, and
This is what Windows should ask. Are you
right.
free right now? Are you doing any critical jobs? If you are not, I have some updates for you. Like I would like to install, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Instead, it will analyze the patterns, and then it will just find out that sweet spot when you are most occupied, and then at that sweet
Yeah,
spot,
most occupied. Yeah, exactly.
at that sweet spot, it will give you the warning. Windows will reboot in 2 minutes. Save everything. Fuck off from this room and let me
Assignment to
update.
be published in one minute, submitted in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Then it will be like like the thing is it might even like I don't know. It sometimes it feels like
Hmm.
it deliberately makes itself slow so that you do reboot, right?
Yeah. 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 Right. It is correct. Absolutely correct.
I mean, this is one of the reasons why you should stick
Yeah.
to Linux because
Yeah. I mean,
Linux works
hmm,
how you expect to be all the time, right?
exactly.
And when you're ready, only it updates.
Absolutely.
And
And then
it
also
gives
it will tell you, right? Uh, that there are some I mean core system packages updated. There is a requirement of reboot. Whenever you are free, reboot it. Like that. It shows a
absolutely.
sweet message in terminal. So like that's the way.
I mean, even the base Linux doesn't even upgrade normally, right? I mean,
I see.
it only
Okay.
upgrades if you have some kind of a service which
Okay.
automatically upgrades. And
Correct.
even if that upgrades, it is not a big deal. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
uh, if you are not upgrading the kernel or anything, like
Yeah.
if you upgrade the kernel, then you might lose
Yeah.
access to USB drives or something like that. Like I
Right.
mean,
Right.
the kernel modules will be no longer to be found, right?
Yeah. But you will be able to like submit your assignment within 1 minute. So
Absolutely, that is guaranteed.
that is
That
guaranteed.
is absolutely guaranteed.
Yeah. And
And
I
the
mean,
thing is, you can be
yeah.
sure that if you shut the PC down and if
Mm-hmm.
it turns on, then you shut it off without doing any configuration stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn it on,
Mm-hmm.
you can be 100% sure that it will turn on.
Yeah. Yeah.
While Windows, you can't be sure because
You can
the
be
next
sure.
time
Yeah.
it might be Windows update.
Yeah. It could be
Right?
like a blue screen, and I mean, if you have SSD, then it is very less pain. But if you hard disk, then you just wait
I
for
mean, I
15,
have
20 minutes.
SSD, right? I had waited around like 1 to 2 hours sometimes.
Oh man. Yeah, those feature updates, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, I will see like
I mean, last
Microsoft.
time
Hmm.
I was like literally in exams and I
Mm-hmm.
was like doing the thing, and it basically started updating. You know what I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reset to old Windows, right?
Oh
From
man.
factory. Oh yeah, killed the Windows and went to Linux.
Right. Perfect. Perfect.
Now it has to do the updates from startup.
I see. I see.
Yeah, who is the boss now, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you see.
The thing is,
Yeah.
the thing is with Linux, it is like it knows that you are the one who is going to use the computer, and you are the
Correct.
one who
Correct.
really going to like uh, have the consequences, right?
Yeah.
If your computer is not up to date,
Right.
it is not the like the duty of the operating system to care for you, right? I mean,
Exactly.
you are the one who is in control, and you should be,
Hmm.
right? But
Absolutely
in
correct.
Windows, it feels like Windows is the one who is there in control, and you are basically like a guest. And
Yeah. Yeah. That's
whenever the Windows feels like it will do whatever it wants.
absolutely correct. Even now,
Yeah,
if you've seen the recent news, like it is just from nowhere it is prompting. Like you've seen that UAC, right? uh, User access
absolutely.
control, yes, no, like that it is prompting from nowhere that you should use Microsoft Edge as your default browser and Bing as your default search engine, like from nowhere.
Um,
Even though you are not using Chrome, I mean, you are Chrome is default for sure, but there is Microsoft Word open, or you are writing something, or you are presenting something. This prompt is coming from nowhere.
Absolutely.
And it is asking yes or no. I mean, what are you doing,
I
Microsoft?
was like amazed at one thing, right? When I actually plugged in
Hmm,
uh, like a Logitech mouse, right?
I
It
see.
automatically started installing Logitech software. I don't know how it did.
What the hell?
Like it just asked, like for this mouse to perform better, you need to install this, and I said yes, and it
Okay.
automatically started downloading.
I mean, it is good for a very
I
new
mean, it is
user
not
and
the
all.
driver because driver should be generic mouse, right? I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
like,
know what they're doing. Like, it is all
yeah.
like I talked this to my friend, right?
Hmm.
And he also says this happened to him also
I see.
with Razer mouse. When he plugged in the Razer mouse, it started automatically installing the Razer programs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like Windows, what I'm understanding from this point is like it is trying to generalize all the users into one group, and which is a noob group. Like you don't understand anything. Let us take care of it.
Of everything
Yeah, of
before you.
everything. Yeah, and I mean, the noob users might like it, but like it is not the way, right?
Advanced users like us, I mean, like we basically hate that.
Of course not. And see, like Microsoft has all the access to resources in terms of manpower, uh, you know,
Already,
maybe.
like the funniest thing is,
Hmm.
MKBHD is already complaining about the YouTube, like that thing, right? The
Yeah, yeah.
quality thing.
That is. I mean, that is so childish, right? Lower, medium, higher. What
I
is that?
mean, this was the thing, right?
Yeah,
Recommended and higher quality, right? I mean,
I see. I see.
and there is advanced.
Correct. And then in
I mean,
advance,
advanced is like manual selection, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
the thing is, what is MKB saying is
Hmm.
that put a setting in the settings
Hmm.
that is advanced is by default video open when you get settings
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Right.
because
Right.
others
Right.
doesn't make sense.
Absolutely. And Abhiram, like, see, this is the I would say intuition of Google behind doing this, because like because if they are streaming 4K video to your screen, their servers are getting loaded. So, like, if they are thinking like this, right? If they are giving you only three options, and if you are selecting higher quality, you are in your mind assuming that you have selected 4K, but they are streaming 1080, and you don't actually know unless you go into advanced. So, like, they are trying to save their own bandwidth at cost of your quality. So, yeah, this is the intuition.
I mean, I also think the same. I mean, like, only thing is they now unlocked that feels weird, right? I mean,
I see.
they now unlocked
Hmm.
4K on devices which don't support 4K because of the screen
Okay.
resolution.
Okay.
That feels weird.
Yeah, yeah, that feels serious. Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, I mean, it is both beneficial to both people, right? I mean,
Hmm.
the thing is, they should not take everything to their hand.
Correct.
That is a moral, right? I mean,
Yeah,
with Google and also Microsoft,
absolutely correct.
people are capable of doing something, then there should be an option for manual.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Some people like manual transmission cars, right?
Right.
Auto transmission cars.
Yeah,
It is because you like to have the manual control over the engine,
correct. Correct.
right?
Yeah.
And you feel in control. While in auto transmission car, it feels like whatever gear it
Hmm.
feels like it just puts it, right? I mean,
Right. Correct.
so it is like
Hmm.
for me, I don't really like. like manual transmission cars. I like auto transmission cars.
Okay.
But
Okay.
whenever I talk to people, they all say like manual transmission car is what they like,
Yeah.
and that is really weird because I
Hmm.
am an advanced user and I don't like
I see.
manual. Right? I prefer auto because I can do something else while I do the user thing. Right? I mean,
Oh, okay.
right?
Right.
Like that is my logic, right? But
Correct. Correct.
for them, actually, they feel like they are in control of driving. Right? For
Hmm.
me, I feel like driving is a burden, right?
Yeah.
So it is like the user level. Like there should be always an option to choose,
Absolutely.
which is the control, right?
Right.
For cars, there is. You
Hmm.
buy a car, you
Hmm.
can choose whether to have manual, auto, or both,
Yeah. Right.
and it is your choice. It is your car,
Hmm.
and you only drive it after
Yeah.
that. Like that, you have to be able to choose
Correct.
whether to update now or not,
Hmm.
or let Windows handle it.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, yeah, they are like I am pretty sure that they are not providing that option to disable it because
Hmm.
people will go ahead and disable it
Hmm.
because that's
Of
what
course.
they.
No. If they were going to do, they would have implemented from start, right?
I mean, by default, Windows is shit because the
Hmm.
thing is just the fact that you can add fat while
Yeah.
system is
Yeah. I mean, you have to reboot for everything, right? After installing almost
every little
every
step you have
software.
to need little deeper,
Yeah.
even drivers.
Yeah. Even after uninstalling, not install. Even after uninstalling. Wait, what's the point?
I mean, like
Yeah. I mean, this could go
Hey,
on
like I mean, like
hours and hours.
from start to end, you have coded the whole thing, and you don't know how to reinslice a particular set of
Exactly.
variables.
Exactly.
You can only reinslice from the start to end. I mean, that feels like bad code practice to me.
Absolutely. Either they don't understand, like the original coder has gone away, or the original coder itself they don't doesn't understand, like, how to do it. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, like the thing is, Windows is too old
Yeah.
in the sense. Like
Yeah.
they need to evolve.
Yeah.
They need to evolve into a better
Yeah. Correct.
version. They feel like Android.
Mhm.
Like Android can also do that. I mean, at least Android can do app updates without rebooting.
Yeah, because it is, I mean, based on Linux architecture, right? Anyway. Right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Windows, if you install Word, you'll be like prompted restart now or restart later.
Yeah.
I mean, what is like Word to do with kernel?
Yeah. Those PDF viewers, those damn PDF viewers, they tell me to restart. I mean, what's the point?
I mean, it's just files copied to the C drive.
There you
Some
go.
registry editor. I mean, that is it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some
I,
shortcut speed.
right. Okay.
So I think with
Yeah.
this we can
Yeah.
end.
We can wrap up. Okay. So that's it for today. Like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the Open Talks episodes at every Sunday, 10 p.m. Goodbye, everyone.